Friday the 13th is about to live up to its reputation. 60 miles per hour winds and tornadoes kick off tomorrow across Texas, and that's just the beginning of a Valentine's Day weekend most of us won't forget. At the same time, Chicago could see up to 12 inches of snow with dangerous cold, while the Sierra Nevada gets buried under 140 inches over the next 10 days. But here's what nobody's talking about. Right after this brutal weekend, temperatures will surge 10 to 20 degrees above average, and I'll explain why that could make the next storm even more dangerous. If you're anywhere between Texas and Maine, this affects you. I've got over 100 cities to break down, plus 3 predictions you can screenshot and hold me accountable for Monday. So drop your city in the comments and let's figure out together whether your Valentine's Day plans need a backup or if you're in the clear. Now here's why this pattern shift has my full attention. After a boring week where nothing much happened, our models have finally come into agreement on something big. The GFS actually won this battle against the European model. The Euro thought this might turn into a major nor'easter, but it's backing off that idea now. What we're seeing instead is a classic Baja low setup with an atmospheric river pumping moisture through the 4 corners. That's the fuel for everything that's coming. And folks, if you remember the February 2021 Texas ice storm that knocked out power to 4.5 million homes, this setup has some of those same warning signs. Not the ice this time, but the same pattern of Gulf moisture colliding with a strong cold front. And when that happens in February, the atmosphere gets angry. We're tracking at least 3 to 4 storm systems over the next couple of weeks, and the pattern is about to load up in a big way through the end of February. Let me give you the timeline so you know exactly when to pay attention, whether you've got romantic dinner plans, a weekend getaway, or just trying to keep your family safe. Today and tonight, energy is moving ashore out west with snow developing across the Sierra Nevada, the Rockies, Utah, southern Wyoming, and western Colorado. Tomorrow, Friday the 13th, lives up to its name. Severe weather kicks off across western Texas by afternoon with the kind of storms that make you check your weather app every hour. Saturday, Valentine's Day, is when the South needs to pay close attention. The severe threat shifts into East Texas, southeastern Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Louisiana. The I-35 corridor from Dallas-Fort Worth down to Austin and Houston is right in the crosshairs, along with Shreveport, Baton Rouge, and New Orleans. Sunday, the system pushes into Mississippi, Alabama, and the Florida Panhandle. If you're planning a Sunday brunch anywhere in the Deep South, keep your phone alerts on. Now let me break down what this means for severe weather, because Valentine's Day dinner plans across Texas and Louisiana could genuinely get interrupted by tornadoes. Friday's severe threat focuses on western Texas, Lubbock, Midland, Wichita Falls, with wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour, quarter-size hail, and yes, an isolated tornado threat. The atmosphere is cooking up the recipe for rotating storms. Warm, moist air from the Gulf colliding with that cold front, and plenty of wind shear to spin things up. Saturday's setup is even more concerning because the warm sector expands into southeastern Oklahoma and central Arkansas. That's classic Dixie Alley tornado territory. If you've got Valentine's dinner reservations in Dallas, Houston, or New Orleans, I'm not saying cancel them, but have a plan B and know where the nearest safe room is. Tornadoes don't care that it's a romantic holiday, and being prepared doesn't mean being paranoid. It just means being smart about the situation. All right, let's get into the cities, starting with Texas, where the danger is most immediate over the next 48 hours. If you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, here's what you need to know. Saturday afternoon into evening is your watch window, with 1.5 inches of rain and severe hail possible. The Cowboys might not be playing this weekend, but Mother Nature is bringing her own kind of blitz to North Texas. Stay weather aware if you're heading out for Valentine's dinner. Houston, and I need your full attention here, is looking at strong winds with a tornado possible Saturday. If you're anywhere near the 610 loop or the Galleria area, keep your alerts on. Austin and San Antonio are both tracking about an inch of rain with heavy storms Saturday evening. The I-35 corridor between the two cities could see icy conditions in spots. Now West Texas is ground zero for Friday's severe threat. Midland and Lubbock could see large hail up to quarter size with those 60 miles per hour wind gusts I mentioned. Amarillo's looking at rain transitioning to 1.5 inches of snow. The Panhandle is going to feel that temperature crash as the cold front blows through. Wichita Falls, Abilene, and San Angelo are all in Friday's severe zone. Isolated tornado risk is low, but when it's your house, low isn't zero. Corpus Christi and the Valley are on the southern edge. Cloudy weekend with light rain, but the worst of the severe threat stays north of you this time. Quick check-in for my Texas folks. Are you seeing those clouds building this afternoon? Drop your location in the comments because your real-time reports help verify what the models show. Shifting to Louisiana and the Deep South now, and this is where Saturday night into Sunday morning gets genuinely dangerous. New Orleans is bracing for 2 inches of heavy rain with severe thunderstorms, wind gust 40 to 60 miles per hour. And if you're on Bourbon Street Saturday night, maybe stay close to your hotel. Baton Rouge is similar with nearly 2 inches and that tornado risk Saturday. The LSU campus area and everything south to the Gulf needs to stay alert. Shreveport, Monroe, and Lafayette are all in the marginal severe zone. Storms shift through Saturday evening into early Sunday morning. Jackson, Mississippi is tracking 2 inches of heavy rain with a legitimate severe threat. Tornado warnings are possible here, especially after dark Saturday. Birmingham, Alabama is looking at multiple waves Sunday with an organized severe setup. This is the kind of situation where you want your phone charged and your safe room identified. Montgomery and Mobile are both in that severe zone with wind as the primary threat. The Gulf Coast knows how to handle these setups, but please take it seriously. Atlanta, Memphis, and Nashville are both looking at heavy rain. Memphis could see isolated severe with that 1.2 inches, while Nashville stays cloudy but less dramatic. Little Rock is right in the thick of it with 1.5 inches and severe storms Saturday night. If you're anywhere in central Arkansas, this is not the night to ignore your weather radio. Oklahoma City is fascinating. An inch of rain that transitions to 2 inches of snow as the cold air wraps in. So you might start the day in rain and end it shoveling. Tulsa is similar with rain changing to snow. The Sooner State is going to feel that temperature whiplash as this system moves through. All right, quick pause here. If you're still watching, drop a tornado emoji if you're in the severe zone, or a snowflake if you're in the snow zone. I want to see where everyone's tuning in from. And remember, I'm making 3 specific predictions at the end that you can screenshot, so stick around for those. Now, here's the thing that people don't realize. The same storm system bringing tornadoes to Texas is going to dump a foot of snow on Chicago by Sunday. 2 faces of the same monster, and depending on where you live, you're getting one or the other this Valentine's Day weekend. Chicago, and this is serious, is looking at up to 6 inches of snow with the potential for 12 inches in the heaviest bands. Temps 15 to 25 with dangerous wind chills. If your Valentine's plans involve driving anywhere in Chicagoland this weekend, give yourself triple the usual time and maybe keep some blankets in the car. Milwaukee could see 7 inches with blizzard conditions possible, temps 12 to 22, and the Packers might be done for the season. But winter is just getting started. Minneapolis is tracking 8 inches with extreme cold at 10 to 20 degrees. Wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour mean frostbite can develop in minutes on exposed skin. Detroit is under a winter storm watch with 5 inches expected. The lake effect machine off Lake Huron could add to your totals locally, so watch your specific forecast. Indianapolis is tracking 4 inches with a travel advisory likely. If you've got Valentine's plans anywhere along I-465, give yourself extra time Saturday night. Cleveland is looking at 4 inches with heavy snow and blizzard risk. The Lake Erie snow belt from Mentor to Ashtabula is going to get hammered. Columbus and Cincinnati are both in that 2.5 to 3.5 inch range. Watch for black ice Sunday morning as the temperatures drop and that slush refreezes. Des Moines and Omaha are both tracking heavy snow along I-80, 4 to 5 inches with temps in the teens and 20s. So the drive from Nebraska to Iowa is going to be slow. Kansas City is right on the rain-snow line. 3 inches of snow in the north, but rain to the south. And which one you get depends on exactly where you live in the metro. St. Louis is dealing with that same rain-snow mix. Could be 2 inches of snow or mostly slush. Temps 32 to 42. A classic February mess for the Gateway City. Quick tip for everyone in the snow zone. If your car battery is more than 3 years old, these cold temperatures have a way of reminding you it's time for a new one. Now let's talk Northeast, where the nor'easter threat has diminished, but there's still snow on the table for a lot of you. The northern piece of energy is moving quicker, and the southern piece slower. so they're missing the connection that would have created a blockbuster storm. Boston is still looking at 3 inches of snow with snow showers Friday night. Highs in the mid-30s Saturday, so your Valentine's Day won't be a blizzard, but bring a coat. New York City is tracking 2 inches of spotty snow with wind chills below 20. Bundle up if you're heading to a Broadway show or dinner in Manhattan this weekend. Philadelphia is looking at a snow-rain mix with 2 inches possible. The Philly cheesesteak spots will still be open, but the drive home might be slick. Pittsburgh is colder with 3 inches of snow and Arctic conditions. Temps 25 to 35, and the Steel City is going to feel like January all over again. The I-95 corridor from D.C. through Baltimore to Jersey could pick up 1 to 3 inches. Watch for slick roads Sunday morning, especially on bridges and overpasses. Charlotte is under a winter weather warning with 1.5 inches of snow. For a city that doesn't do well with snow, even that amount can cause chaos on the roads. Raleigh is tracking 2 inches with snow pummeling possible. The Research Triangle should prepare for some slick conditions Friday night into Saturday. Washington, D.C. and Baltimore are mostly looking at light snow with black ice risk. Not a huge event, but enough to make your commute interesting Monday morning. Now, out west, while everyone's focused on the severe weather and Midwest snow, the mountains are quietly getting absolutely crushed. The Sierra Nevada is looking at up to 140 inches of additional snowfall over the next 10 days. That's nearly 12 feet of snow for Lake Tahoe and Mammoth. For skiers, this is Christmas in February. But for anyone trying to travel over Donner Pass or I-80, check conditions constantly because roads will close. The Cascades in Oregon and Washington are also getting hammered, plus the Rockies from Idaho through Wyoming. Great for drought relief, dangerous for mountain travel. Denver's tracking 3 inches with temps 25 to 35. Not a huge deal for the Front Range, but the mountains west of you are getting buried. Salt Lake City is looking at 4 inches with the Wasatch getting absolutely slammed. If you're skiing this weekend, you're going to have fresh powder waiting. Seattle and Portland are wet as usual with 1 to 1.2 inches of rain. Typical Pacific Northwest February. Nothing to write home about. The desert Southwest from Phoenix to Vegas to Albuquerque stays dry and mild. If you want to escape the chaos, that's where to go this weekend. Florida, you're mostly quiet. Jacksonville, an inch of rain. Tampa and Orlando, light showers. Miami warm at 65 to 75. Enjoy it while the rest of us suffer. Now here's what caught my attention in this morning's data. Right after this brutal weekend, temperatures are going to surge across the eastern U.S. We're talking 10 to 20 degrees above average by next Wednesday into Thursday. The weeds are going to start growing back. Birds are going to get confused. It'll feel like early spring. If you haven't had a taste of spring yet, you will by next week. Although I wouldn't put those winter coats away just yet, and here's why. Another big storm is brewing for the following weekend, February 21st into 22nd, with heavy snow potential on the northwest side and severe weather further south. When you have that surge of warm air followed by another strong cold front, the contrast creates even more instability. That's the setup for significant weather. The last week of February through March 1st shows true Arctic air sitting in southwest Canada, ready to send shots of cold into the northern U.S. So the pattern stays active. Winter weather for the northern tier, spring-like warmth from Texas to Florida, and storms keep coming through the end of the month. All right, safety time. I'm going to be direct because February severe weather catches people off guard when they're focused on romantic plans. If you're in the severe weather zone Friday through Sunday, have multiple ways to receive warnings. Your phone, a weather radio, local TV. Don't rely on just one. Know where your safe room is before you need it. Basement, interior closet, lowest floor away from windows. Have that conversation with your family tonight, not Saturday. For those in the snow zone, charge your devices, have flashlights and batteries ready, and remember that generators go outside, 20 feet from windows, no exceptions. Check on elderly neighbors and family members who live alone. A quick phone call to make sure they're prepared could genuinely save someone's life this weekend. If you encounter flooded roadways, turn around, don't drown. 6 inches of moving water can knock you off your feet. 12 inches can sweep away your car. Here's what I'm watching over the next 72 hours. These 4 things should be on your radar too. First, Friday the 13th, severe weather across Texas with 60 miles per hour winds, quarter-size hail, and isolated tornadoes. This kicks off tomorrow afternoon. Second, Valentine's Day, severe threat from East Texas through Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. Saturday night into Sunday is the danger window. Third, heavy snow from Chicago to Minneapolis with up to 12 inches possible and dangerous cold. The Midwest is going to feel this one. Fourth, 140 inches of mountain snow crushing the Sierra Nevada. Incredible for drought relief, but dangerous if you're trying to travel through those passes. All right, here are my 3 predictions. Screenshot this right now because you can hold me accountable Monday morning. Prediction 1. We see at least one confirmed tornado somewhere in the Texas-Louisiana corridor between Saturday night and Sunday morning. Prediction 2. Chicago ends up with at least 6 inches of snow and Minneapolis sees 7 or more inches before this system exits. Prediction 3. I-80 over Donner Pass closes for at least 24 hours due to the intensity of the Sierra snow. Travel through those mountains will be impossible. If I'm wrong on any of these, I'll own it Monday. That accountability is exactly how you know you can trust what I'm telling you. What region would you like me to go deeper on tomorrow? Drop it in the comments. I'm seeing requests for Texas severe timing and Midwest snow totals. If you found this forecast valuable, hitting that like button genuinely helps more people find this information when dangerous weather is approaching. If you know someone in the severe weather zone or the snow zone, do me a favor and send this to them. Accurate information ahead of time saves lives. We do daily updates when weather is active like this, so subscribe and hit the bell if you want to stay informed through Valentine's Day weekend and beyond. I'll be back tomorrow morning with the overnight model runs. Friday the 13th could be when this thing really shows its teeth, and you'll want to know what's changed. The GFS won this battle against the European, but here's what worries me. When that warm air surges in next week, the setup for the February 21st storm could be even more dangerous. I'll show you exactly why that's the case tomorrow morning. But for now, focus on getting through this weekend safely. Stay safe out there, enjoy your Valentine's Day, but stay weather aware, and whatever you do, don't ignore those phone alerts if they go off. Take care of yourselves and each other, and I'll see you first thing tomorrow with the latest Friday the 13th update.